Please stand for a moment of reflection. Let us now observe a moment of silence to reflect on the different paths that have brought us together today, and to honor our graduates, their families, and friends gathered here, our distinguished guests, and the faculty and staff at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro who celebrate with you on this joyful occasion.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I've asked for a microphone over by the orchestra for 3 years now, and it's the same thing every year. The ambient music is never heard during the march. So, okay, bye.
Please be seated. On this beautiful morning, I bring you greetings from the faculty at UNCG and welcome you to the May 2015 commencement ceremony. Who's ready to graduate? The degree you earned today signals a milestone for you, one for which everyone here is so proud. Now I'm going to ask you a question you may have heard a few times before. What will you do next? I thought you might groan. I did. I thought you might groan. But if you consider the question a hopeful one, perhaps you can smile and embrace its really limitless possibilities. We, the faculty, along with your friends and family, are putting our faith that you will use your degree and the knowledge, insights, and experiences that you gained at UNCG to contribute to your communities, to your workplace, and to the world we share. We are counting on you to participate in meaningful dialogue with others, using the critical reason and thinking you have learned to make your mark in the world. It's not a small task, but then what you've accomplished up to today was likewise no small task. You are prepared to contribute. We hope you will continue learning, and we urge you to put your disciplinary insights to work to ensure the public good. Everyone you know will be giving you advice, or maybe already they have. And so as not to disappoint, I offer you a bit of my own. As you venture on your journey to a new job, an advanced degree, or important community work, do so with courage. Be proud of your diploma and let it inspire you to keep asking questions, to keep initiating important conversations, to keep a focus on the need for justice where it is absent, and to keep recognizing that education is the key to a life where our communities and our democracy are strong. As you do all that, remember, be fair, be kind, be generous, be helpful, and be happy. Congratulations, UNCG Class of 2015. And now I have the privilege and honor to introduce UNCG's Acting Chancellor, Dana Dunn. Dr. Dunn is a native Texan, and like many of you, actually like many of us, she is a first-generation college graduate. She earned her undergraduate and master's degree at the University of Texas and her PhD in sociology from the University of North Texas. You have some fans. Dr. Dunn assumed her leadership role here at UNCG just this past year and has made an immediate, promising impact on our campus culture by communicating clearly her commitment to listening to and taking action with others on the pressing needs facing our students, staff, faculty, and community. In the coming year, we will be relying on her expertise in higher education planning and policy as we embark on a strategic plan to take us forward for the next 10 years. We are delighted that this Texan has made North Carolina her home. Please welcome to the podium Acting Chancellor, Dr. Dana Dunn.
Good morning and welcome. I thank you for sharing this significant moment in the lives of our graduates, their families, their friends, the university, and the larger Greensboro community. Today, we gather to celebrate academic achievement, student success, excellence. This ceremony marks the end of one chapter in the lives of our students and the beginning of another. It's a time for reflection, but most of all, it's a time for hopes and dreams. The University of North Carolina at Greensboro stands apart not only because of our outstanding academic programs, our dedicated faculty and staff, but by the difference our people make. At this university, what matters, in addition to what is taught and learned, is how the lessons learned are actually carried out and, if you will, paid forward, locally, around the world. Congratulations to all of our students on what you've already accomplished, and best wishes for success and happiness in the years ahead. It's my pleasure now to introduce members of the Platform Party. Would the following individuals please stand and remain standing as I call your names so that we may recognize you. Mr. Harry Nath, representing the Board of Governors of the University of North Carolina. Dr. Junius Gonzalez represented the Office of the President of the University of North Carolina. Mr. Jeffrey Collins, Class of 1984, President of the UNCG Alumni Association. Mr. Dixon Iba Kingsley, as if you couldn't guess, bachelor's degree candidate and speaker for the May class of 2015. Mr. Tim Rice, commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient. Dr. Joseph Starobin, Board of Governors Teaching Excellence Award recipient. Miss Tynesha McCullers, tassel turner, representing the class of 2015. Mr. David Banks, bell ringer, representing the class of 2015. Dr. Sue Medley, class of 1965, alumni bell ringer. Members of the UNCG Board of Trustees, Ms. Vanessa Carroll, Mr. Brad Hayes, Ms. Harriet Smalls, and Mr. Joseph Graham, who also serves as president of our Student Government Association. From our Board of Trustees, we also have Ms. Susan Safran, representing the board as chair of the board, and she will be conferring our degrees today. Also with us, Dr. Diane Borders, faculty marshal and mace bearer, and Dr. Spoma Jovanovic, chair of our Faculty Senate. Thank you, and please be seated. The education that students receive at UNCG would be impossible without the service of hundreds of dedicated faculty and staff. The officers I am about to introduce are also integral to the success of our university. Would you please stand and remain standing as I call your name, and I ask that you please hold your applause until I complete the list. Dr. Cherry Callahan, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Mr. Charles Mamoni, Vice Chancellor for Business Affairs. Dr. Jan Zink, Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. Dr. James Klotfelter, Vice Chancellor for Information Technology Services. Dr. Terry Shelton, Vice Chancellor for Research and Economic Development. Ms. Benita Brown, Vice Chancellor and Chief of Staff. Dr. William Weiner, Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Timothy Johnson, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. McRae Banks, Dean of the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics. Dr. Karen Wixon, Dean of the School of Education. Dr. Celia Hooper, Dean of the School of Health and Human Sciences. Dr. Peter Alexander, Dean of the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Dr. James Ryan, Dean of the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering. Dr. Robin Rimsberg, Dean of the School of Nursing. Dr. James Eddy, Dean of the Division of Continual Learning. Dr. Roseanne Bazirjan, Dean of the University Libraries. Dr. Jerry Pubance, Dean of the Lloyd International Honors College. Ms. Nikki Baker, Interim Director of Strategic Initiatives, and Mr. Sean Farrell, Co-Chair of Staff Senate. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning. On behalf of the entire University of North Carolina Board of Governors and UNC President Tom Ross, it is my great pleasure to bring greetings to today's graduates, their families, to this university's distinguished faculty and staff, alumni, Board of Trustees, students, Acting Chancellor Dunn, and member of the Platform Party. Graduates, congratulations. Congratulations. If I may take a personal moment to congratulate my nephew, Sanjay Satsangi, who is getting his bachelor's in business administration. Sanjay, Chirag Satsangi. Chirag Satsangi. We are here to celebrate you and your accomplishments. The experiences learned during your time at this fine institution will resonate throughout your life. Your education at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro has provided you the knowledge and skills you will need to achieve success in these ever-changing, complex times. And wherever and whatever your future endeavors may be, we encourage you to stay connected to this wonderful university. You deserve to celebrate, but it is also important to acknowledge the contributions of the faculty and staff of UNC Greensboro, especially those teachers who have helped, encouraged, and provided you the proper guidance to succeed. There are a number of faculty members on this campus who exemplify outstanding teaching. Today, I want to recognize one of them. It is my privilege to present this year's Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching to one of your most outstanding faculty members. Established by the Board of Governors in 1994 to underscore the importance of teaching and to reward great teachers across the university, the awards are given annually to a tenured faculty from each UNC campus. Recipients are nominated by special committees on their home campuses and selected by the Board of Governors Committee on Personnel and Tenure. Each winner receives a bronze medallion and cash award. This year's recipient from UNC Greensboro is Dr. Joseph Starobin. Chancellor Dunn and Dr. Starobin, would you please come forward? Dr. Starobin joined UNC Greensboro in 1997 and has served as an associate professor in the Department of Nanoscience at the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering since 2010. As a UNC Greensboro Associate Professor of Nanoscience, Dr. Starobin's career has been devoted to the application of methods of theoretical, mathematical, and computational physics to cardiovascular research. Teaching is important. Teaching is his priority. Particularly noteworthy is his ability to make mathematical concepts real, useful, and applicable, and to prepare students for further studies in the interdisciplinary field of nanoscience by strengthening their fluency in math. Dr. Starobin is also a leader in K-12 outreach program. He has trained, advised, and assisted many middle school students for various science projects. His most outstanding accomplishment in this respect to date was the victory of his team from Mendenhall Middle School, whose project was one of only 16 to be executed on board the Space Shuttle Endeavour in April 2011. How remarkable is that? Wonderful. His accomplishment as a teacher and mentor have been recognized on and off campus. He has received the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering Teaching Excellence Award twice, in 2012 and 2014. Numerous letters written by colleagues in support of his nomination clearly indicate that Dr. Starobin is a leader in his field both nationally and internationally. In evaluations, students consistently praise him for his passion for teaching and attribute their own academic and professional success to his willingness to mentor them beyond the classroom. Dr. Starobin, we celebrate your outstanding professional achievement and salute your demonstrated commitment to great teaching and inspiring a new generation of learners. In honoring you, we also acknowledge more than 14,000 dedicated faculty members who teach over 220,000 students throughout the University of North Carolina. Congratulations again. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the entire University of North Carolina, it is my pleasure to express our appreciation for Chancellor Linda Brady's distinguished service to UNC Greensboro, the UNC system, and the state of North Carolina. While Chancellor Brady was unable to be with us today, her dedication deserves to be acknowledged. Chancellor Brady took office in the summer of 2008, just before the start of the Great Recession, and has shepherded this institution through some very tough economic decisions. She inherited a strong, highly respected institution and has worked diligently to position it for continued success in the years ahead. Under her leadership, UNCG has expanded collaborations and partnerships with North Carolina A&T State University, the local business community, and other committed partners. The Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering, the Union Square campus, and Spartan Village are examples of this collaborative work. Despite the fiscal challenges faced by UNCG and higher education nationally, Chancellor Brady was able to grow the endowment from $187 million in 2008 to nearly $238 million at the end of 2014. Chancellor Brady and other campus leaders have championed programs that enhance student success and outcomes. The UNCG Guarantee Program, for example, helps talented young North Carolinians from economically disadvantaged backgrounds receive a four-year education with little or no debt. The UNCG Veterans Resource Center provides support for military-affiliated students. And UNCG has been cited for its gains in retention and graduation rates, especially among minority and low-income students. Her tenure as this institution's chancellor caps an impressive career in higher education and public service. Prior to coming to UNCG, Chancellor Brady served as Senior Vice President and Provost at the University of Oregon, Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences at North Carolina State University, and Chair of the Sam Nunn School of International Affairs at the Georgia Institute of Technology. She has also held key positions in the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Defense, and was the Olin Distinguished Professor of National Security at the United States Military Academy. She is a recipient of the U.S. Department of State's Superior Honor Award and a two-time recipient of the Outstanding Civilian Service Medal from the U.S. Department of the Army. At this time, please join me in celebrating the service and many accomplishments of Chancellor Linda Brady.
Good morning, and greetings from the 92nd session of the Student Government Association. Congratulations to those of you who never walked under the clock, and for those of you who did, well, I hope you checked your genie before you got dressed today. It has been an absolute pleasure serving as your student body president this semester. You all have worked diligently to get to this day, and you should be very proud of yourselves. These last few weeks have probably been somewhat of an emotional roller coaster for you all, so I'll spare you the reminiscing of your freshman year and of your other experiences at UNCG. Instead, I want you all to look past this occasion and just for a moment and begin to think about what the future holds for you and the students sitting around you. After today, you all will immediately be going out of your comfort zones. You're going to find yourselves in situations in which you feel as though you aren't prepared, and that's okay. Everything isn't going to go your way. You're not going to land every audition. You're not going to be hired for every job you interview for. Your big ideas on how to improve your companies won't always go over well with your bosses or your coworkers. Those creative methods of teaching children how to enjoy math or science won't work with every class you teach. The people you've grown up with all these years may begin to have trouble understanding who you're becoming. But the way you'll approach these obstacles will prove the difference between the rest of the world and a Spartan. You see, Spartans have always dealt with adversity and have risen far beyond the expectations of others. Because at UNCG, students gain the wisdom to be able to overcome any academic, financial, or moral burden that may be placed upon them. The reason you're here this morning is because your life has purpose, and your passion to serve and make a difference in your community will have the ability to impact the world. Remember that your growth from this point forward will not be measured by your wins or losses, your best days or your worst, but by how you choose to rise above each challenge and continue to find new ways to combat each obstacle. So, soak it all in now, because tomorrow you start a new journey. There might be difficult days ahead, but you should find comfort in knowing that the family you've built at UNCG will always be here right behind you. Congratulations, class of 2015. Make us proud.
Good morning. I recently had an opportunity to help fill a job opening here at UNCG. It gave me a chance to think about what UNCG means to me and to hear what it looks like to others. In one session, as a candidate was reeling off their list, a student said, "I appreciate your research, but there's more to UNCG than that." He was right. So that set me to thinking, and here's some of what I came up with. What happens to us here shapes what we become. Before we even realize it, a transformation has begun. It happens over time as we play 3 holes of golf. It happens at Natty's when we hang out in the loft. Dining in the caf or meeting in EUC are all rites of passage here at UNCG. We play volleyball in the sand until well past dark, then head back to the dorm through Peabody Park. The picturesque quad is a great place to unwind, from sitting and relaxing to outdoor movie time. Snowball fights there or sledding on the hill turn into all-nighters in spite of the chill. The view of our stadium, lights all aglow, as seen from West Drive, make us all want to go. Have a message for the campus? Go paint the rock. If you want to stay here a little longer, walk under the clock. In buildings named Sullivan, McKeever, and Bryan, our world is expanded one class at a time. If theater or art are where you aspire, Weatherspoon, Aycock, and Taylor can nourish your desire. The campus is dazzling. There's room to roam, and buildings named Highland, Mendenhall, and Coyle will soon become home. We have an entire village just past the track and a mosaic underpass to make it safe getting there and back. UNCG welcomes all who come here and learn. Service is our motto, and we all get a turn. It's the people, it's the place. We come from far and wide. We grow and we learn and we fill with Spartan pride. We come for research. We come for knowledge. We come for a great university that grew out of a great woman's college. You've experienced the crack of a bat, the bounce of a ball, the tapestry of colors that shows every fall. Each spring across campus, as azaleas and dogwoods bloom, we're beautifully reminded that graduation will be here soon. Convocation in August, commencement in May. How did 4 years so quickly get away? You chose very wisely and attended a school that's produced winners of Oscars, Tonys, Emmys, league MVPs. There's really no stopping a grad from the G. Teacher, nurse, scholar, doctor, and CEO are but a few of the titles previous grads came to know. Traditions like the daisy and our class ring serve us well, and on special occasions like today, we'll ring the university bell. The moments that made up your time while you're here may not be fully appreciated until they disappear. Your time as a student went by far too fast, but the memories you've made will definitely last. There will always be a fondness, a mystical call that you can answer at homecoming each and every fall. The people will change, some come, others go, but the traditions stay here, and they're what you know. While all I have mentioned has a cumulative effect, I still can't say for certain what makes us connect. The success of our school and what it will be, it's the you, it's the me, it's the we, it's the G. Congratulations, class of 2015.
Families, friends, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, and last but most certainly not least, my fellow graduates, good morning. My name is Dixon Ibe Kingsley, and it is a pleasure and an honor to stand before you this morning as the student speaker for UNCG's graduating class of May 2015. I would like to start by congratulating you on your great success. Many of us, including our families, have been waiting for this day to arrive. Some of us, including myself, even had an app that counted down each passing hour. Well, the countdown is over. Here we are, May 8th, 2015, and it is our graduation. Commencement is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a point in which something begins. Oftentimes in society, we associate commencement with the end, but in fact, it is just the beginning. It is an opportunity to take all that we have experienced and start something new. It is a time to reflect upon our college career and launch into what is next. A new job, grad school, or a new adventure. The possibilities are endless. It is with that same spirit we approach our time together this morning. We reflect on all we have experienced during our time at UNCG, and we prepare for the road that lies ahead. As a transfer student, my biggest worry was starting all over again, in a new place, making new friends, and adjusting to new surroundings. During orientation in the summer of 2012, I recall seeing a poster that stood out to me. It read, "I found a place where I can reflect deeper, play harder, grow stronger, explore farther, accomplish more, and enjoy life." Let me explain this quote in relation to our time at UNCG. With places such as the meditation room in the EUC, we were able to reflect on our present and future at UNCG. With diverse programs and activities held by our wonderful Campus Activities Board, we were able to challenge our ways of thinking as well as explore the child within us all. Through organizations such as the Student Government Association and its many committees, we were able to grow together in order to accomplish a greater sense of community. And finally, by simply being involved in any one of the 200+ student groups on campus, we were able to enjoy life and be successful in our college careers. Frederick Douglass noted that if there is no struggle, there is no progress. And I am sure that we can all attest to the power of this statement. Whether it was struggling through biochem, waking up for that 8 a.m. accounting class, waiting in line for fried chicken Wednesdays at the CAF, or the crazy Greensboro winter that went from 75 to 25 degrees overnight. As a result of the various challenges we have faced, we all have become stronger, more refined, and more intelligent versions of ourselves. We must also acknowledge those who helped make our college experience possible. Today, as we prepare to move into the future, it is imperative that we hold on to our support networks, those who have encouraged and grounded us throughout the years. To all the parents, families, friends, faculty and staff, and mentors, on behalf of my fellow graduates, I take this moment to thank you. Your guidance and support has allowed us to develop skills that we will have with us for the rest of our lives. You inspired, motivated, and challenged us so we may reach our highest levels of success, and for that, we will be forever grateful. Fellow graduates, today, we will leave here separated but forever connected.
We will miss all the amazing friendships we have built during our time at UNCG. But wherever life may take us, know that despite the distance, our roots will remain forever intertwined. Because once a Spartan, always a Spartan. Congratulations again to the class of 2015, and best wishes. Thank you.
I now have the pleasure of introducing our commencement speaker, Mr. Tim Rice. Tim Rice is a highly respected healthcare leader and supporter of healthcare leadership development. Throughout his more than 35 years in the Greensboro health community, he's been a champion for improving healthcare and building community connections. As CEO of Cone Health, Tim strengthened ties with UNC Greensboro, with Guilford Technical Community College, and other Piedmont Triad institutions. Under his leadership, Cone Health evolved from a local community hospital into a viable regional health network. Tim has been a tireless advocate for exceptional patient care and has demonstrated dedication and commitment to our community. We are honored to have a commencement speaker of the stature of Tim Rice. He is an inspiring role model, not only for our graduates, but for all of us. And we know he will endow our 2015 graduates with insight that will serve them well as they begin their personal journey through life. I am very pleased to present Mr. Tim Rice.
Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Oh, the places you'll go. What familiar and exciting words written by the legendary Dr. Seuss in his memorable book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Chancellor, thank you for the introduction. Chancellor, staff, faculty, guests, parents, and most important, graduates of the class of 2015, it is with great honor that I'm here with you today. Please allow me to offer my personal congratulations to you, also my appreciation to your families and the faculty, to administration, and to all who have contributed to your success. On their behalf, I remind you that your success in the future comes back to all of us. I have 3 messages to convey to you today. First, never forget those who helped mold you. Number 2, set your sights high, far, and wide. And number 3, be comfortable with that harshest critic, yourself. So let's start. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. I want you to think for a moment of anyone who made a big difference in your life. Someone who really challenged you, who forced you to greater heights. So now everybody, close your eyes. Yes, you Chancellor, you faculty, you blonde little girl in the 3rd row. Think about somebody that helped get you here today. Someone that molded you to push to a higher height. Okay, you can peek now. So as I do that exercise personally, I reflect back on my 6th grade teacher, Miss Snyder. She was a little white-haired spinster lady, looked as mean as a snake. See, I grew up in a real small town in northern Washington state, and we had 6 different 6th grade classes I could be in, and I got her. I'm the youngest of 5 children. The other 4 all had her too. I couldn't believe my bad luck. The first week in class, she put me in the book closet so I couldn't be disruptive to the rest of the class. I could see her and I could see the blackboard, but no one else. I spent 2 weeks in that book closet. She demanded excellence. No excuses. She pushed me like I'd never been pushed. When we had a track meet against the other classes, we chose the 2 fastest boys for the relay. No, she chose the fastest and the slowest to run together. She made us so angry. Wow, we were mad. She was frustrating, but was she good? Well, you know, today when I stop and close my eyes and think about someone early in my life who made a big difference, it's Miss Snyder. I came to love that lady. I later found out my mother went to her the summer before and asked her if she was ready for another challenge. I hope Miss Snyder would be proud of me today. I am still driven by the thought of her high standards. So what's my point? How many others here today, when you're asked to reflect on someone who's made a big difference in your life, visualize a teacher, a faculty member, or a family member, or someone who served in that role? So let me lead a round of applause from the graduates to our faculty, staff, parents, and family members. I know you have contributed greatly. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You have so many choices ahead of you. I suggest that you do something with the rest of your life that you really care about. Education is obviously very important to you. Some of you attend UNCG from China, from Japan, South Korea, Iran, and the list goes on and on. Others commute from communities across the state. You've managed to balance full-time and part-time jobs, parenthood, and your college coursework. Take, for example, Symphony Oxendine, who began pursuing her doctorate degree here while having 2 children under the age of 2 and commuting from Lumberton. Before she enrolled, she called a family meeting, to ask her relatives to support her in achieving this all. Today, I am told she is receiving her PhD and is proud to be among the less than 1/100 of 1% of doctoral degree recipients who are Native American. Yes. I encourage all of you to use the most of the knowledge you've gained to make the most of your potential. Every person here has faith in your abilities. So choose those abilities to make a difference, whether it's in the business world, sports, arts, raising a family, education, politics, whatever. Make a difference. Do something you're passionate about, and you will demand greatness of yourself. Just listen to this story from another of your classmates, Prosper Amponshab. I'm going to share with you in Prosper's own words. I moved to Greensboro from Ghana 12 years ago with my family. Our family of 6 lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. It was always my dream to become a medical doctor someday. So I worked throughout high school, middle school, even with my limited command of the English language. I was accepted into UNC Chapel Hill, where I became a pre-med student and obtained a bachelor's degree in psychology. I then enrolled in UNCG 2 years ago to obtain a 2nd degree in biology and to make myself a better candidate for medical school. I love the diversity here at UNCG, and I've been able to develop my leadership skills through my job as an RA. I've been able to engage in my community by delivering groceries to seniors in Guilford County every month. My science professors have inspired me and have helped me tremendously in my 2 years. One of my professors' teaching style inspired me to do STEM education and research this past summer in North Dakota. I believe my drive, my family, my faith, and my interest in making a difference in our community are factors that have been instrumental in my success. I will be applying to medical school next fall. My philosophy is to always work hard, and when I look back, I don't want to say, what if? Although I'm graduating with multiple chords and a much better GPA than I had in Chapel Hill, I am leaving UNCG a better leader, a more equipped citizen, a more determined student, and a more insightful person. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. Wherever you fly, you'll be among the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. As you are venturing to new heights with great accomplishment, always remember to respect the people on the way up. Not just your bosses, your colleagues, but the wait staff, the janitors, the toll attendants. Pay attention to how you treat people. How you treat people is a direct reflection on who you are. But I'm not worried about how this class treats people. You and your generation consistently volunteer in ways that help others to make a better place. Just so listen to a couple of stories of what your classmates are doing. Stephanie Falk founded a chapter of the National Alliance on Mental Illness while a student here. As she put it, I want to be the change I wish to see. I wanted to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I was taught to leave the game better than I found it. I am leaving UNCG knowing it's in better condition than when I came. Patrick Waddell, who will receive his bachelor's in public health education, works hard to beat the odds every day. Dean Celia Hooper put it, he uses his wheelchair to roll over the expectations others place on him. He has helped improve the environment for all, not just students who are differently abled. Catherine Davis, graduating with a degree in Human Development and Family Studies, is working to create child care centers that address and prevent childhood obesity. So at this point, we don't know what this class is going to do and what you may accomplish. But you will be amazed at your 5- and 10-year and subsequent reunions on what you have done. The academic overachiever in this room may be a Peace Corps volunteer and help save a village. We probably have future famous actors, musicians, and artists among us. In this room are people who will discover amazing scientific breakthroughs. And the cynic in this room may become the editor of the Washington Post and write about one of our presidents in this room someday. So set your sights high, far, and wide. As you start your next chapter, I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups, they can happen to you. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. Misfortune. Own it. Things are going to go awry. At times you will feel like an outright failure. If you don't experience the occasional disappointment, I believe it's demonstrating you're not setting your goals high enough. Difficult days are going to be part of your future. The interview you're not fully prepared for, the job you don't get, a family crisis. And yes, I believe my character has been built more from the bumps in the road than it has from the times of smooth sailing. When I think of times that I would be proud to say that I was a leader, most often they were times that tried my ethics or my values. Or I recall personal issues. For instance, I didn't get the promotion that I thought I deserved. My first reaction was to sulk, to blame others, not realizing I was the problem. There were times I needed to look far within myself to pull on those internal resources. So during those less than stellar times of your life, hang on to your courage, maintain your moral compass. All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you are quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that scare you so much you don't want to go on. To prove that I read more than Dr. Seuss, let me share a poem written in 1934. The title is The Guy in the Glass. It's one of my favorites. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it isn't your father, or your mother, or your wife whose judgment upon much of what you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the guy staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear up to the end, and you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test if the guy in the glass is your friend. You may be like Jack Horner and steal the plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. You can fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on your back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheated the guy in the glass. So be comfortable with answering to the harshest of critics yourself. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll rise high, ready for anything under the sky. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Never forget those who helped mold you. Set your sights far, high, and wide, and be comfortable with the harshest of critic, yourself. Franklin Roosevelt said there were 3 requirements for a good speech: be sincere, be brief, and be seated. I have tried to fulfill on the first 2, and now I'm going to fulfill on the 3rd. Thank you for the honor of being here with you on this memorable day. Congratulations to each of you. So, be your name: Oxendine, Dixon, or Lee, John Merrill, Prosper, Ambashaw, Hoover, or McGee, Bellevance, Tran, or LeVay, Waddell, Lowry, or O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on the way. Graduates of the class of 2015, my hat's off to you. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Tim Rice for your thoughtful and inspiring words. It's the first time I've seen Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat give a commencement speech, but it was very enjoyable. At this time, it is my pleasure to recognize all degree candidates and to authorize Acting Chancellor Dunn to confer the degrees. Speaking for the Board of Trustees of the university and acting under the delegation of powers by the Board of Governors and the University of North Carolina, I authorize you, Acting Chancellor Dana Dunn, to confer the appropriate degrees upon the candidates approved by the faculties.
Today, UNCG will award approximately 2,376 earned degrees in the following categories. We have 1,814 baccalaureate degrees, 474 master's degrees, 22 specialist in education degrees, 66 doctoral degrees, and 67 of these degrees will be awarded to international students. These figures represent students who are completing their degrees in May. We will now recognize our honorary degree recipient.
Will Tim Rice please come forward? Acting Chancellor Dunn, I am honored to present Tim Rice, who was recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Tim Rice is the Chief Executive Officer Emeritus of Cone Health. He joined Cone Health as a pharmacist and held numerous leadership roles before being named President and Chief Executive Officer in 2004. Mr. Rice has a master's degree in health administration from Duke University and a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from Washington State University. Tim led Cone Health to rank among the top hospitals in quality, service, and cost in the delivery of health care. In recent years, Cone Health has been recognized for high-quality health care by U.S. News and World Report, Leapfrog Group, and CareChex. During Mr. Rice's tenure, Cone Health merged with Alamance Regional Medical Center, signed a management services agreement with Carolina's healthcare system, installed the Cone HealthLink electronic medical record system, and established the Triad Healthcare Network, an innovative, accountable care organization. Tim is the 2012 recipient of the Thomas Z. Osborne Award from the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, and he also received the Distinguished Service Award from the North Carolina Hospital Association that same year. Since retiring in 2014, Mr. Rice has taught and mentored his philosophy for leadership in a fast-moving, volatile healthcare and business environment. He is president and board chair of the National Center for Healthcare Leadership. He serves as a fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives, and he is a member of the Board of Governors of the Center for Creative Leadership, a top-ranked global provider of leadership development based in Greensboro. Tim Rice possesses a breadth and depth of experience in the fields of healthcare and information technology. He has consistently demonstrated outstanding professional achievement and commitment to the UNCG motto of service. We are pleased to recognize him today for his contributions to the UNCG community, to the Piedmont Triad, to North Carolina, and beyond. Tim Rice, acting on the recommendation of the faculty of the university as conveyed by Dr. Jovanovich, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the North Carolina System, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Please join me once again in congratulating our honorary degree recipient. We will now recognize our graduate degree candidates. Dr. William Weiner will now present the candidates for graduate degrees.
Good morning, everyone. Will the candidates recommended for doctoral degrees please stand? Acting Chancellor Dunn, I have the honor to present and to recommend the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, or Doctor of Musical Arts.
Acting on the recommendation of the graduate faculty as conveyed by Dean Weiner, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements of the doctoral degree for which you have been recommended with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations. Please come forward to receive your diplomas. You will be hooded by your committee chair or co-chair.
Robert Owen Bussey III, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Nadia Chech. Leah Abwan Milne, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Michelle M. Dowd. Lauren B. Shook, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Michelle M. Dowd. Sonia Marisol Alvarez Wilson, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Nancy Myers. John James Kaiser, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Mark Elliott. Brian Arthur Sinclair, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Sebastian Pauley. Krishana Hines Gaither, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Leila E. Villaverde. James Roderick Wyatt, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Leila E. Villaverde. Troy Allen Martin, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Kathy Hitton. Allison J. Ames, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Randall Penfield. Cheryl Huey Grace, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Belinda J. Harden. Natsuko Takemai, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Stephanie Kurtz. Patrick John Conetta, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Heidi B. Carlone. Joy Kammerer Myers, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Amy Vetter. Tori Lynn Reynolds, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Deborah J. Taub. Susan Caroline Braxton Davies, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. David F. Ayers. Allison Marie Kavanaugh, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Andrew Supple. Jenny Sue, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Andrew Supple. Camila Leggett, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Danielle Crosby. Yami Che, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Catherine Jameson. Carrie Lynn Knight, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Robert Mayo. Mohsin Ahmed Mukhtar Shaikh, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Robert Mayo. Chris E. Hare, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. David J. Teachout. Morgan Christine Soja, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Patricia E. Sink. Robin Whitener Wilkins, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Donald Hodges. Ernest J. Grant, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Anita Tesh. Merdad Tajkarimi, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Joseph Graves. Richard Vestal Jr., Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Ethan Will Taylor. Michelle Lynn McCrory, Doctor of Philosophy, to be hooded by Dr. Sylvia C. Betez. Travella R. Free, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Sylvia C. Betez. Fuad Abdul Rahman Al-Bushed, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Nora Kathleen Carr, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. April Lee Conley, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Jeffrey Brian Moss, Doctor of Education, to be hooded by Dr. Carl Lashley. Nana Faith Wolf, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Robert A. Wells and Dr. Wellborn Young. Jordan Lane Howell, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Robert A. Wells. Bridget Maureen Moriarty, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Robert A. Wells. Caroline C. Oliveira, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Robert A. Wells. Mark James Kramer, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Kelly Burke. Laman Bennett Lawhorn, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Mary Ashley Barrett and Dr. Jennifer Walter. David Nathaniel Vance, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Randy Kohlenberg. Justin Matthew Bunting, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. Kevin M. Giraldi. Janet Watson Phillips, Doctor of Musical Arts, to be hooded by Dr. John R. Locke.
Please join me in congratulating the new doctors. Congratulations, and please be seated. Will the candidates recommended to receive the Specialist in Education degree please stand and remain standing as your degree is recognized. Acting Chancellor Dunn, I have the honor to present and to recommend the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the Specialist in Education degree.
Acting on the recommendation of the graduate faculty as conveyed by Dean Weiner, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the decree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Specialist in Education degree. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Will the candidates recommended to receive master's degrees please stand as your school and degree are recognized and remain standing? Will the graduate degree candidates in the College of Arts and Sciences for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Public Affairs, or Master of Science please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics for the Master of Arts, Master of Science, or Master of Business Administration please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Education for the Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Library and Information Studies, Master of School Administration, or Master of Science please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Health and Human Sciences for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, or Master of Science in Athletic Training please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts, or Master of Music please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering for the Master of Science please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the School of Nursing for the Master of Science in Nursing please stand? Will the graduate degree candidates in the Division of Continual Learning for the Master of Arts degree please stand? Will the graduate degree candidate for the combined Master of Science in Gerontology and Master of Business Administration please stand? Acting Chancellor Dunn, I have the honor to present and to recommend for the appropriate degree the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the master's degrees just cited.
Acting upon the recommendation of the graduate faculty as conveyed by Dean Weiner, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the master's degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the master's degree. Please be seated. Will the doctoral and specialist in education degree recipients please stand along with the master's degree recipients? Please stand. I want to ask that we congratulate all of our graduate degree recipients today. Congratulations to each of you for your outstanding achievements. You may now be seated. We will now recognize our baccalaureate degree candidates. Dr. Timothy Johnson will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates with majors in the College of Arts and Sciences recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology, please stand as your department or major is called and remain standing. The African American and African Diaspora Studies program. The Department of Anthropology, the Department of Art, the Department of Biology, the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, the Department of Classical Studies, the Department of Communication Studies, the Department of Computer Science, the Department of English, the Department of Geography, Department of History, Department of Interior Architecture, Department of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Department of Media Studies, Department of Philosophy, Department of Physics and Astronomy, Department of Political Science, Department of Psychology, Department of Religious Studies, Department of Sociology, the Women's and Gender Studies program, special programs in liberal studies, including archaeology, environmental studies, humanities, integrated science, international and global studies, and social studies, and finally, majors in independent studies programs. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dr. McCrae Banks will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics.
Will the baccalaureate degree candidates with majors in the best business school in North Carolina, the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics, recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, please stand as your department is called and remain standing. Department of Accounting and Finance, Department of Consumer Apparel and Retail Studies, Department of Economics, Department of Information Systems and Supply Chain Management, Department of Management, Department of Marketing, Entrepreneurship, Hospitality, and Tourism. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates of the Joseph M. Bryan School of Business and Economics. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Dr. Karen Wixon will now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Education.
Good job. Will the candidates in the School of Education recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science please stand as your major is called and remain standing? Elementary education. Middle grades education. Professions in deafness, special education, and the dual major in elementary education and special education. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Education.
Congratulations. Please be seated. Dr. Celia Hooper will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Health and Human Sciences.
This commencement marks a special moment as the University of North Carolina at Greensboro awards today the first Bachelor of Arts degree in Peace and Conflict Studies. Will the candidate recommended to receive this degree please stand and remain standing as your degree is recognized? Acting Chancellor Dunn, I have the honor to present and to recommend for the appropriate degree this special candidate who has satisfied all of the requirements for this degree.
Acting on the recommendations of the faculty as conveyed by Dean Hooper and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon you for which you have met the requirements, the bachelor's degree, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations. As it is our custom to recognize on stage the first recipient of a new degree, will the recipient of the Bachelor of Arts degree in Peace and Conflict Studies please come forward to receive your diploma?
Andrew Wilson.
Please join me again in congratulating our first recipient of the Bachelor of Arts degree in Peace and Conflict Studies. Okay. We will now recognize the remaining degree candidates within the School of Health and Human Sciences. Will the candidates with majors in the school recommended to receive the degrees of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Social Work please stand as your department is called and remain standing? Department of Communications, Sciences, and Disorders. Department of Community and Therapeutic Recreation. Department of Human Development and Family Studies. Department of Kinesiology. Department of Nutrition. Department of Peace and Conflict Studies. Department of Public Health Education. Department of Social Work. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Health and Human Sciences. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Dr. Peter Alexander will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Music, Theater, and Dance.
Will the candidates in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Music please stand as your department or major is called and remain standing? Department of Dance, Department of Music Education, Department of Music Performance, Department of Music Studies, and Department of Theater. Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Dr. Robin Rimsberg will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the School of Nursing.
Will the candidates in the School of Nursing recommended to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing please stand? Please join me in congratulating the baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Nursing. Congratulations. Please be seated.
I would now like to ask the candidates for all the baccalaureate degrees to please rise. I think you'll want to hear the next part. Acting on the recommendation of the faculty as conveyed by the deans and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the President of the University of North Carolina, I hereby confer the degree upon those of you who have met the requirements for the baccalaureate degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its rights, honors, and responsibilities. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, I'd like to ask the recipients of the baccalaureate degrees to please turn your attention to Tynesha McCullers for the turning of the tassels.
Y'all look so beautiful. We have now come to that long-awaited milestone in our lives, the moment when we are no longer students, but we are graduates. Graduates of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Tradition requires that before graduation, the tassel be worn on the right side of our mortarboard. After graduation, as a symbol of our new status as degree holders, the tassel be worn on the left. As representative of our May class of 2015, I am privileged to lead you in turning your tassels from right to left, signifying our status as graduates. Congratulations, class of 2015.
You may now be seated. In continuing to recognize the excellence at our university, I would like to acknowledge the undergraduate students who have graduated with special honors today. These honors are summa cum laude, which requires a minimum grade point average of 3.9, magna cum laude, which requires a minimum grade point average of 3.7, and cum laude, which requires a minimum grade point average of 3.5. Will the graduates please stand as I call your honor designation and remain standing while we recognize your achievement. Summa cum laude, please stand. Magna cum laude. And cum laude. Graduates, you have brought distinction to yourselves and to your university through your high achievement. Congratulations. Please be seated. The university's disciplinary honors program offers undergraduates the opportunity to complete a rigorous plan of study that complements the work they do in their majors. The capstone of their honors work is the Senior Honors Thesis, a project in independent scholarship similar to that of a master's degree thesis. The students who completed an honors program this year with the titles of their senior honors project are listed in your commencement program today. I'd like to recognize these students. Please stand so we can congratulate you. Congratulations. Please be seated. Even as we enjoy today's celebration of accomplishments, we are mindful of the importance of the military in defending our freedoms. Today, we are proud to recognize 8 May degree candidates who are scheduled to be commissioned as second lieutenants in the United States Armed Forces. Please stand as I call your names. Kiera Bailey. Elizabeth Eller. Crosby Hunt. All United States Air Force. Jade Allen. Michelle A. Cardenas. Amber C. Gilbert. Anthony K. Perkins. And Benjamin D. Rhodes, United States Army. Thank you. Please be seated. We would also like to recognize all of our degree candidates who have served our country in the armed forces. I'd like to ask you to please stand so that we may congratulate you. Thank you. The University of North Carolina at Greensboro, in conjunction with the nonprofit agency partner Beyond Academics, has pioneered an innovative program of study for young adults with intellectual developmental disabilities. Established in 2007, the Integrative Community Studies program in North Carolina is the first. It's the first and only 4-year certificate program of its type in North Carolina. It promotes personal growth and development for these students in a richly diverse and inclusive environment. Through the program of study, graduates have demonstrated their capabilities for living on their own, for attaining employment of their choice, and for meaningful involvement in their communities. I'd like to ask the graduates of the Integrative Community Studies program to please stand and let us recognize you today. Congratulations to you, your proud families and friends, and the staff and faculty who support your experience. Thank you. Please be seated. Before we conclude today, I would like to recognize some very important guests who are with us. Would you please stand and remain standing as we recognize you? First, the parents of our graduates. Please stand. Let's add to that the grandparents, the spouses, the partners, the children, and the friends of our graduates. Thank you all. Please be seated. And now, I would like to thank the faculty of UNCG, and I'd like to ask you to stand so our new graduates can express their appreciation for all you have done to bring them to this milestone. Thank you very much. Let us take a moment to acknowledge the participation of the following student groups in our ceremony today. Our highly skilled university marshals provide leadership throughout the year, and they are integral in our commencement ceremony. The commencement band and chorus provided our beautiful music today and are selected from our nationally recognized School of Music, Theater, and Dance. And finally, graduating seniors from the Professions in Deafness program in the School of Education provided interpretation of 2 of the songs in the ceremony. Thank you. Thank you all for your continued contributions in support of our university. As we bring our program to a close today, I would like to encourage our new graduates to remain connected to your alma mater. As an alumni of UNCG, you become part of one great unbroken band that stretches back to the founding of this university in 1891. We ask that you stay in touch. Let us know of your successes because we too are proud parents. Help us identify prospective students who should follow in your footsteps, who will appreciate the benefit of the type of experience you have had at UNCG. Please advocate in your communities for the importance of public higher education and continue the habit of giving back to others. Congratulations once again. As is our tradition, the university bell will be rung to honor the May graduates. Today's bell ringers are Dr. Sue Medley, class of 1965, and Mr. David Banks, May class of 2015. Following the ringing of the bell, Please be seated and remain seated during the recessional until the faculty and graduates have moved out of the area. Now I will ask you to please stand for the singing of the alma mater and remain standing for the bell ringing.